And welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3. You know what helps me unwind after a long period of testing? Well, just some Tartarus expedition. Better save my progress to make sure I don't lose anything along the way. We will continue from where we left off on floor 212. I'll also probably be running through some enemies in Persona 3 Portable along the way. I decided to save any enemy that I didn't cover in FES for Portable, just so we can get more footage of that version in this particular run of Tartarus. I just think that was a fun idea. Keeps things nice and interesting for me. We don't have too much ground that we need to cover here. The boss floors for this bit of Tartarus in Persona 3 Reload are
We've covered so much ground exploring this place. I don't think I could ever do that.
as soon as I can break this pedestal, I was just letting Fuka say her piece there, are 218 and 225, so yeah, not a huge amount of distance. We've already seen all of the potential Monad bosses, and I believe we've seen most of the available enemies. We also know damn well that the Strong Shadow is not very fun to fight, though I do have Norn at this point, so with Phanta Ray I could probably pretty quickly punch through him, though it's not a super economical option. I just find Strong Shadows at this point to be really tedious and boring to fight, and potentially risky if you zone out. So I tried my best to avoid them. We actually do have a new enemy here in that giant over there, so we'll just take this guy down with a quick shot of Aegon, and then we will pass it on to the protagonist. And honestly, this is as good a chance as any to just throw out some Magutterdines with Norn here. Well, we don't already know what this guy is weak to, except I happen to just clue in instantly what this guy is weak to. Oh, check that out. It's nice to have another good elemental specialist. It'll especially be nice if we can get a lot more magic funneled into her. Get some serious damage on that Phanta Ray. Also, we're starting to see Jack cards. Cards capped out at rank 10 in Persona 3 FES, and, ooh, nice, get a scout there. Allow me to quickly get to the next floor. Cards capped out at rank 10 in FES and Portable, so we're actually seeing something new with cards there. Ah, there's two locked chests. Maybe I should, I'm not sure how this interfaces. I want to pop these chests and see if it gives us a great clock. I'm wondering if that'll just bring Koromaru back to the base if we happen to get one. Didn't get any luck with that one. Let's just open this one because it'll despawn this guy. And see if we get another great clock. We're just experimenting here to see what happens. No great clock, so I was barking up the wrong tree with that one. But what isn't barking up the wrong tree is Koromaru, who scouted out and got us some items here. Looks like Koro-chan found something we could use. Good boy. And we get a Snuff Soul and a Harabah wall piece. Very nice, very nice. There's a strong enemy a few floors above you. What kind could it be this time? Oh, I can only imagine, Fuka. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, we don't know too much of her. I'm not gonna waste time with too many enemies. But, you know, if there are new ones, we can always stop to check them out. Fortunately, this guy is a little distraught from being snuck attack, so we get a nice chance to tee off against him. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it on over to the protagonist. We know this guy is vulnerable enough to slash skills, so may as well just have Siegfried cleave him in two. There we go. Very solid damage. Didn't even need a bit of bonus damage from Vile Assault there. Siegfried's just got us covered on everything.
Good job, Koro-chan. Now let's get back to exploring.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hopefully we'll find some good items, some good money. I could use quite a bit of money. Even though we've gotten a few compendium discounts here, it is still pretty pricey to fuse off everything and then haul it right back out of the compendium. So you've got to be mindful of your spending, especially when you're spending on really expensive 5K accessories. That definitely burns through your wallet right quick. Indeed, Junpei, I love it when he says that. So, oh, we got another enemy here.
I'm always happy to team up with everyone.
And I'm happy to team up with you, Ken. So what I was trying to say is that while cards capped out at 10 in FES and Portable, of course, King cards did exist because that was the card you get when an item-bearing persona produces an item. No Jack or Queen card, I'm afraid, though. I figured I could use this opportunity to show off some of the unique enemies, well, not unique enemies, but show off the FES and Portable versions of the enemies using, well, Portable. Over here we've got Perpetual Sands, who nullify all elements but are weak to Slash and Pierce skills. Pretty easy to deal with. I can just Deathbound them down with Cert. If we're lucky, we'll get a crit on that other guy. We were not so lucky, but that is a-okay. Just another Deathbound, even though that dice is resistant to physical skills, we still hit hard enough with the really high stats from Cert to take him out. Perpetual Sands are also the enemies that we need to kill to get items for Elizabeth's request. We need 3 items from them, so hopefully you get them in pretty short order. I didn't get any there. Got a couple new enemies over here. Let's see, the Prime Magus is weak to fire and drains ice. Pretty predictable. Over on the other side, we've got the Judgment Swords. They are strong to slash attacks, nullify light, and are weak to darkness. Both of them only have around 340 HP, so it is very easy to just whip out Cert and do a Maragidine to take them out in short order. Not anything you have to exert too much brain power in. Love to see it, love to see it. Next up, we have Mad Cyclopses. They are strong against fire, nullify ice, and are weak to light. At 350 HP, it is not too much to just blast them out with Odin. Otherwise, you can have Siegfried, if you have the Great Condition, use a Vorpal Blade on them to also take them out in pretty short order. And while I'm doing a downtime Portable montage, I may as well turn in the requests I've completed to get Theodore's thoughts on them. The Sand of Time is a mysterious item. I see that you brought 3 of them with you, just as I requested. The sand represents time itself. However, since time does not exist in this room, the sand simply represents sand here. Please take this as your reward. Not too different from what Elizabeth says, but we do get an Atlas stick for our efforts. And, is that what rainbow hair looks like? I see. Those colors are beautiful. Do you want to know what I plan to do with it? Well, that's a secret. Oh, well, now you've got me curious, Theodore. But he's not going to tell us, and we get an Omega Drive for our efforts. How delightful. I also forgot to mention it earlier. These were actually new enemies we saw on the Perpetual Sand encounter. Iron Dice. They're basically the same as the Cursed Dice from the previous section of Harabah, except that they're weak to Elect, so they're even easier to strike down in a single blow with Odin. Good stuff. And the last enemy we have to see here are Stasis Giants. These guys are, let me see here. They're strong against slash attacks and strike attacks, are weak to ice, and they nullify elect and wind. Ice is a bit of a weak spot in my lineup, but still, I have some options here, like Titania, who unfortunately does not fuse in with Ice Amp, but Mabufala is enough for my purposes. If that doesn't work out, I can of course just have Mitsuru double tap them for another all-out attack, but we should have enough raw damage on our all-out attacks at this point, simply because everybody has such good weapons, that this should be enough to do it regardless, and indeed it is. I'll admit, it's kind of nice when I can just skip through the Monad encounters. It's also kind of nice when I can remember to recover Kodomaru's SP. Yeah, unfortunately, he is pretty SP hungry, and I don't really have good ways to mitigate the amount that he's using up. Doesn't passively recharge anything like Ken, and he's not able to get by on his physical skills nearly as much as Junpei is. Partially because, you know, he's got a pretty underpowered Getsue to deal with right now. We're at the half moon here, so not exactly getting super inspiring gains out of that. I am going to kill some of the enemies here to just get more Theurgy charge for the protagonist. Another nice thing about our upgraded preemptive strike is that we're generating so much more Theurgy gauge.
Alright, now back to exploring.
I still don't know what those Minotaurs are weak to.
You looked really cool out there, Koro-chan.
He did. Also note that now that we're getting up to Jack cards for coin cards, we're actually getting not terrible amounts of money from them. Got 20k off the card I just drew, which is still considerably less than what we normally get from them in FES and Portable, but still pretty good considering Reload's reworked economy.
Please be careful.
I will, Fuka. Except not really, because we're just going to charge headfirst into this one, and we'll save the remaining boss in FES and Portable for when we get to the next one. Yeah, and we'll reach the next border floor in no time. For right now, though, we just got to tear through this guy who is right in front of us. The enemy is strong. Please make sure you're ready before fighting. I was born ready. I will say that again and again. I have lost count of how many times I've said that. Move out, squad. Keep your eyes on me. Oh, Junpei acting like he's the leader here. But hey, I appreciate his counsel, and he does good by us. He does good. So let me see here. We got scornful dice to deal with. Let's just go for a... Okay, so he drains physical attacks. Junpei's probably not going to be able to accomplish much here. If that is the case, let's see. He's got Infuriate coming out. It's a bit unfortunate that was after Ken. Yeah, okay, I see what this guy's gimmick is. Let's see here. We'll use our refresh pack right away to just get everybody cured up there. And let me think here. First off, let's scan this guy and see if he's got any weaknesses I can exploit. Nope, barking up the wrong tree with that one. Let me see here. What we want to do then is let's just start fishing out damage with Agaun here. I think what I'll actually do is I'm going to have Ken here set up a Divine Intervention for us. Not so much for the healing, but just for the Makara Karn on everybody. That gives us a one-time defense against his Infuriate. So we don't have to worry about that being thrown back at him. He's going to go for Mega Down here. I'm not overly concerned about that. Ken can easily heal off that damage. Let's see here. We will have Junpei just using Agidine here, which will be quite weak, but still, it is damage. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to Trumpeter and debilitate him. We only got one more turn of our buffs to utilize, so we'll want to make the next turn of the protagonist count, and I think this will be the most effective way to do it. Oh, I got rid of Trumpeter, didn't I? But I put it onto... yes. I was like, did I forget to put it on? I put it onto Barong, right? Shoulda. I didn't, my stock is kind of full, so only able to pull out everything that I put away. Anyways, Hound of Hades from Koromaru here will deal some pretty wonderful damage. Then when it rotates back around to the protagonist, we can use, probably just Scarlet Havoc, honestly, would be the most effective way. Or, once Junpei's turn comes around, perhaps we can have him use his Blaze of Life. Of course, it would have probably been better if I remembered to give him the Agni Bracers, but I was just eager to throw down with this guy. Send a bunch of Infuriate back his way. Didn't really work out. Also, he did not get access to... Oh, actually, the protagonist is not revved up to hit this guy with the Theurgy. Did not realize that. That is okay, though, because we've got Phanta Ray coming out from Norn here. Gonna have our buff start wearing off this upcoming turn, but... Oh, never mind. There we go. Good power. Norn is a good pickup. I'm glad I fused her. Alright, and a whole bunch of experience coming out here. In particular, I like seeing that level up coming out from Bishamontan. The higher level that guy gets, and also we're going to take this Vorpal Blade. Very powerful skill. Not quite double the power. Yes, Primal Force. And in 2 levels, he'll get Pierce Amp, and that'll basically set him as my dedicated Pierce Specialist. Why the heck not? Let's see. Yeah, we'll actually swap out Agaun for my Agaun. Just a little bit more efficient, in my opinion, and I'll probably replace Mamudon with the Fire Ramp there. I'll have to think about if I want to keep Soul Shift or not. It's not super useful. Kodomaru's in a good mood. Arf. Okay, want to keep going, boy? Yeah, well, it is nice that Koromaru seems determined. It is just so nice to see everybody so motivated to continue, and it really is inspiring. Speaking of motivated to continue, I see no reason to return, so why don't we just keep on going? Grab a precious egg here for our troubles, pop open this chest right here. Of course, I also got that sword to show to Elizabeth when I get a chance. It's another request completed, and actually, we're at... what level are we at? Level 70? We can complete another request. Well, okay, not right now, actually. I'm thinking ahead a little too far. Okay. Hey, actually, yes, it is another new enemy here, a Slaughter Drive. Well, we're just going to pepper this guy with shots and see what works. He looks like he might be kind of resistant to physical stuff, so we'll go with the more intuitive Zeodyne here, which I am right on the money with that. Of course, it's not the most surprising thing in the world. Mechanical enemy weak to electric spells. Final Fantasy has taught us well on that. Sometimes Persona subverts your expectations, but not all that often. There we go. And a nice slap from the sword. Takes him out, no problem. And hey, we still get the shuffle time. Let me see here. You know what, since I got Barong in tow, I may as well take that. And we will, we'll take out the money. I was thinking about taking the extra experience there, but the money is more important. Because, again, compendium expenditures getting pretty hefty so far.
I can't think of a single reason for the forest to be
didn't think anyone would climb this thing.
Yeah, come on. You guys are overthinking it if you're thinking there's a reason for Harabah being designed the way it is. It was probably just designed this way to be gaudy, if I had to give it one, I suppose. Just how tall is this place? Yeah, this is just, it just keeps going and going. Tartarus is like the Energizer Bunny. Hey, Monad door right out of the gate. Let's get this taken care of first. You know, I must confess, it's kind of sad to see Black Frost is not the most dominant offensive option that I have anymore. Bufutine just doesn't hit quite the same way anymore, and King and I is just vastly inferior to Scarlet Havoc at this point. Oh, hey, another new enemy here, but yeah, that's just something that we gotta deal with every now and again. Okay, these guys are almost assuredly weak to fire, so we'll just have Koromaru pop right off, get a nice bit of theurgy charge for himself there, and deal some good damage to these guys. It'll be so wonderful when Koromaru picks up that fire amp skill. It'll just make him able to deal so much more damage with those Maragi Dines, which would be pretty heavily appreciated at this stage of the game. Let's see here, Tetrakarn. Nah, we'll just take the money. I don't really care to teach the barriers to my protagonist. Ken is all the support I need when it comes to barriers. There we go. Definitely not going to waste my time with the Daring Gigas over there. Just not worth the effort. Let's see, though. What is worth the effort is this locked chest. We're going to pop this open, and come on, give me a clock, give me a clock, give me a clock. Akihiko is actually falling pretty far behind. Sick armor. Think it helped my inner charm, you know? We're not going to give it to you, Junpei. Oh, man. I've been getting pretty bad luck with the clocks there, which is pretty unfortunate. Let's see, he's getting auto Sukukasha. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to move these Shoes of Bane. Let's see here. Shift boost, that's actually pretty good. What are my shoes? The Western boots. Oh, wow. Those are way out of date. So, you know what? I may as well take the 50 extra SP. That just gets me even more mileage out of Life Aid. I'm really hoping I do get a Grand Clock soon, because, again, Akihiko is falling pretty far behind. I'd like to see him shoot up in the levels a bit. Not that it really matters for the immediate future, truth be told.
Good job, Koro-chan. Now let's get back to exploring.
I'll admit, it's quite nice to see all these rare forms here. Actually, we've got the floor already mapped out, so I could just leave here. But what the heck, I'll take the treasure chest. Why not? Get some goodies here, and, you know, get a little bit more runtime going also. Even though I'm going to be dropping quite a few minutes just by editing stuff out, but hey. Let's see here. Get a Balm of Life, a pretty nice item to get from a common chest. And let's see, what do we get from this one over here? I would actually honestly just like money, and there we go. Although, nowhere near as much as the serious paydays we get in Persona 3 FES and Portable. That's just something that I'm gonna harangue. It's like such a funny difference in this game compared to the original versions. Like, you just got so much more money. Let me just get into an encounter with this guy right here. Oh, actually, it's a good thing I did check this guy out, because we actually got a new Strong Shadow for this leg. We've got the Yotan of Evil. Let's give this guy a quick Getsue, and I'm probably actually going to take this time to play a little bit more intelligently and actually debilitate this guy, although he is just weak to physical skills. You know what? Never mind. Change of plans. We are going to give this guy quite the experience, as I don't think he's really prepared for what Siegfried is capable of doing to him. We, of course, also got Vile Assaults coming out from Ken. Is this guy also weak to Pierce? Yes, he is. Okay. Get that coming out from Junpei also. Would be nice if we could dizzy this guy. Probably not going to finish him off, so I'm actually going to go with my original plan here. Let's debilitate him, because that'll just give us a little bit more safety to work with. Lower his attack power, and against our massively buffed defense, he's not really going to be able to do anything too terribly threatening. Let's see. Yeah, he did hit Junpei's weakness there, but that is okay. Let's see. Poor Junpei. He has just been dizzied out. He has been dizzied and he has been destroyed. Fortunately, we're going to be dealing a lot more damage now, so we're going to be able to get some good revenge for Junpei. Do I want to actually heal, though? Nah. We can just go straight into the offense here. Let's switch on back to Siegfried here. Where is Siegfried? There is Siegfried. And go for our Brave Blades, which should probably deal around 1,500 damage. There we go. Very nice. And more enemies are coming in. You don't need to see this part.
Alright, now Now back to exploring.
I suppose I could have guessed this, but the Minotaurs are actually weak to ice spells, so that's a handy thing to know going forward.
Oh, it's a rare treasure chest. Good boy, Koro-chan.
I appreciate your efforts, Koro, although I did, kind of see it right there. I was already in the process of going towards it. No clock yet. That is disastrous. That's looking bad for Akiko. Particularly because we're getting pretty low on Twilight Fragments. You don't get nearly as many of them this late in the game compared to earlier in the game. You're just not getting as many from, upping your social stats. Not getting as many from, oh, I can actually just get that treasure chest because it'll despawn this thing anyway. Not getting as many from completing social links, just a lesser amount of Twilight Fragments being awarded to you all around. Occasionally Elizabeth will do us a solid and spot us someone when we complete a request, but not quite frequent enough do we get those. Something valuable that I did notice is that with the Jack tier sword cards, the auto team buffs are actually appearing in those, so that is another option that we have for getting those. The one that I got was auto Maraku, so still no auto Mataru, but hey, we've got that potential coming up. There's a strong presence on the next floor. We should start preparing now. Indeed. There's a valuable treasure chest in the darkness, but no lock chest. I am actually going to fully explore this floor. One, the enemies are not going to attack me here, but two, we get Twilight Fragments from the pedestals, and I did get the Devil card from my expedition earlier before I started recording, so I get double Twilight Fragments from these, which is very, very helpful, very, very important. Keeps us nice and stocked up. I mean, I was just complaining about how we're getting pretty late on Twilight Fragments, and just look at how generous the game is being with these pedestals right now. Don't dilly-dally on the floors too long, or the Reaper will show up. I think it's like a minute timer for the Reaper to show up on these floors, so be mindful of that, but not anything too serious we have to deal with. We've got another big Minotaur coming up. Powerful enemy spotted, but I'm not concerned about him. It is a single enemy, and I have access to Debilitate now. Next floor is a border floor, and the gatekeeper guarding the path there. This won't be an easy fight. You'll need to be ready. Have I ever approached fights anything less? But for right now, let's pop on over to FES and Portable and deal with the bosses there. Of course, before we get into the boss fight for FES, I of course have a request to turn in. The Sand of Time is a mysterious item. I see that you brought 3 of them with you, just as I requested. The sand represents time itself, but since time does not exist in this room, it's just an ordinary sand here. Please accept your reward. And we get Sharon's Hammer for our efforts there. Not really anything I'm super interested in, but hey, it might be something to sell. The only other time-sensitive request that we have left to complete for FES is, of course, getting the last old document, and because I'm doing this still on the 10th, I've got more than enough time to turn that in, and we'll be doing so this evening. Anyway, let's get into the actual thing you're here to see, the fight. Coming into this battle, aside from the obvious thing of equipping Raphael to get my auto team buffs going, I have also slapped the Omega Drive on the protagonist, which may or may not come in handy. Let's get into the fight here.
Its arcana is fortune. This will be a difficult fight.
Not really sure why that indicates that this will be difficult, Fuka, but I'll just let you roll with that. Let's see, I do want Akiko to stay on heal and support. I'm going to put Ken on heal and support also. Junpei will stay in full assault. We definitely want to scan it to make sure we get the correct information going to Junpei, because this thing is resistant to elemental skills, so we want to go with physical skills instead. Now, I don't truthfully know too well what this thing is fully capable of, because, well, on my practice playthrough, I just critted it with Vorpal Blade and went into an all-out attack to win immediately. Not sure if I'm going to get that again this time, but it sure would be nice if I did. Regardless, Vorpal Blade with the great bonus, as you can see, deals quite a bit of good damage there. Okay, he's going for the Megidola, which actually works out pretty well for us. That should not put Ken into range to use Meteorahan, but whatever, not a huge deal. I would have liked him to use Meteorama, because that gives me a little bit more safety when I'm going back into my turn with what our HP could potentially be at. As you can see, Junpei has Spring of Life going for him, so that helps him out quite a bit with mitigating the damage he's going to be taking. Do I want to take this risk here? Yeah, we should be able to take this risk. Akihiko actually did the smart thing and lowered its attack power for us, so that gives us a pretty good bonus there. Okay, so it's going for Tetrakarn here. What I'm going to want to do is let Ken get the heal coming out towards me. I'm going to have Akihiko just run up on it and punch it. And that's going to get bounced back at him, but that is going to allow both me and Junpei to keep our onslaught going. One thing that could have helped out here... come on, Junpei. One thing that could have helped out here is if I had gotten a level up for Siegfried. That would have gotten him Arms Master. There, that comes again. We're just going to do the same again this turn. Again, ideally, Ken would use Diorama, but no, he's going to Diorahan. But that, in and of itself, works out in a pretty good way for us, because now he's actually fully healing people up, as opposed to just lightly healing them with Meteoron. Oh my goodness, Junpei. How do you keep missing? Bro, what's happening here? Alright, so because we weren't able to finish this thing off, let's see, the way I would have liked to. Ooh, that actually puts us in an interesting spot. Let's see here. Do I just go for the Vorpal Blade and see what happens? Because it is going to get its attack power back soon. Let's, instead of doing that, let's just go for a slash attack here. Get a little bit more damage going onto him, and yes, that was probably the wise thing to do. Here he's going for Mega Delaon. I really should have put Junpei on heal and support, honestly. Oh wow, that was a surprisingly light damage there. But now Ken will definitely use Meteorama, you know, what he should be doing. One thing you could do to get Ken a little bit of help here is if you got a item-producing Odin. Here comes Akihiko, losing all his buff, but that's fine. Not what I wanted you to do, Akihiko, and he hasn't gotten Diorahan yet either, so that is another unfortunate thing for us. Yeah, sometimes these things do not go the way you're hoping for them to, but that's okay. Here comes Junpei with his gigantic fist. There we go. Oh my god! Junpei! What is happening, bro? How do you keep missing? Yeah, so I didn't get lucky with the crit here. Fortunately, this puts the fight back in a more manageable spot for us. It's going to be a little bit slow and annoying, but that's fine. Not every fight is going to be as perfect as your practice run. If this guy goes for Tetrakarn here, okay, Megidola, that actually works out good for us there. If he went for Tetrakarn, that would have been kind of annoying. Here comes a Diorahan from Ken. Now, if Akihiko's being smart, he's going to debuff this guy, but I have a feeling... Oh, no, hey, there he goes. That actually works out perfectly for us. I am content with that. Now we can switch back on to Siegfried and get Vorpal Blade. For the record, if Junpei hasn't been missing all of these... What is happening? We would have won the fight by now if he actually landed one of those damn things. What is going on with you, Junpei? What's wrong, brother? What's the problem here? There we go. It would have been nice if I got that on the first hit, but also the critical ended the fight immediately for me. What a comedy of errors. Regardless, this is the first boss in a long while in Tartarus that's actually given us good EXP, and here's the ability coming in that would have helped out Siegfried here. Definitely getting rid of Tempest Slash. Not that Power Charge is that useful either, but you know. Anyways, on to Portable, where I hopefully get a better run of the fight going there. But also, I gotta show off the treasures in FES. We got 2 attack mirrors, and, oh my god! And a Soma. Boy, I am just getting trolled like crazy in FES here. Alright, now the boss fight in Portable. On to Portable. Now, I don't have great condition in Portable, so Vorpal Blade isn't quite as powerful. Now, the raw strength of Vorpal Blade is, in fact, quite a bit more than the raw strength of Deathbound, which Siegfried also has in this version of the game. However, Deathbound has a considerably higher critical hit rate, so I will mostly be using that. I also almost forgot to equip Raphael. That would have denied me some very useful attack power. One other useful option that I have going on in Portable is that Odin was an item-bearing persona in this game, and he got his Spell Mastery passive, so he produced his item, and now we have Drupnir on Yukari. This carries the Divine Grace ability, and gives Yukari essentially Meteorahan tier healing with Meteorama. It's not quite there, but for our purposes, it's more than enough. If we're so low that it doesn't heal us to full, it's just such a slim difference, it doesn't really matter anyway. So I have pretty good healing going into this fight also, so let's get into it.
Its Arcana is Fortune. This will be a difficult fight.
Other potential option I could have had was card the weapon boost passive onto Siegfried. He learns it naturally anyway, but that's still quite a ways off, and that would make my weapon strikes pretty powerful. It's a 25% boost to them, and with max strength, that can be some pretty significant damage if you have an adequately strong weapon. So yeah, we're going for Deathbound just for the raw power here. We'll have Yukari, who is not doing anything to begin with, just Pierce attack that damage back at herself. We'll have Koromaru go for a slash attack here. I'm actually going to have Mitsuru Diarahan, the protagonist, since Deathbound will chew through quite a bit of HP. We don't have Arms Master online yet, so we can't rely on that to mitigate the damage that we are dealing to ourselves. This guy's going to hit us with Megidola, and that is perfectly fine because Yukari has more than enough healing power now to just completely restore the entire party with her healing spells. Yeah, 367 HP there, more than enough for our purposes. If we're lucky, one of our characters will get a critical hit, but we can't really count on that. One thing we do have to deal with, unfortunately, is our buffs expiring. This fight's just going to go on way too long to keep them up at all times. I also need to be mindful of when my Marakukaja buff expires, because I don't really have access to a way to reapply that. I was a little too complacent in letting Aegis set that up for me. Fortunately, Koromaru will also be able to set up Matsukukaja for us. Beautiful stuff, Mitsuru. This will allow us to deal a huge amount of damage to this guy. Truth be told, I'm not actually sure if the Omega Drive affects the crit rate of your skills in this game. I don't know if it's, ooh, very nice, if it's specific to, what is it? Just, your... Oh my god, my brain is just completely dying on me. Specific to your weapon strikes. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm going to play it a little bit more safe. Just let some of our buffs expire. I'm not going to bother waiting for Mitsuru's buff to expire. I'm just going to immediately re-up Masukukaja on the rest of the party. Mitsuru will be able to do fine, so let's get Masukukaja going. And I'll have the Femsi set up Matarukaja on everybody. Raphael gives me that as an option. Mitsuru is just going to give this guy a quick slap with her sword. I'm going to switch over to Raphael and get Matarukaja going back on everybody. And that should allow us to just clean up on the fight. As long as we're at full HP, we shouldn't have to worry too much about our stuff going bad on us. Yukari is just going to plink her arrow off of this attack here, and that'll allow us to just go in, take this guy out with little issue. Mitsuru's attack power is back down. It is kind of funny how Mitsuru is not a physical attacker, but she is dealing quite a bit more damage than Koromaru. She actually has surprisingly decent strength. You wouldn't expect that from her. So, didn't get any Deathbound crits there, but that fight's not particularly difficult. As long as you have healing that stays on top of it, you are good to go. And with the drop near boosted Meteoramas, Yukari just had that on lock. And over in Reload, I'm just exploring my fusion options, and if I fuse Kali and Alice, I can make a pretty interesting persona here. Scotty. Scotty is the ice user of Persona 3 Reload, and Persona 3 FES and Portable, to a lesser extent, but not quite as useful for a variety of reasons. Anyways, we'll give her Marakukaja, Megidola, and Maegan, just for a little bit of coverage there. As you can see, she learns Diamond Dust, and she'll also pick up Ice Amp after enough leveling. However, I don't actually have any Ice Boost cards. I got pretty bad luck, and I've just never found any throughout the game. I don't really feel like grinding out, so I probably won't stick with this Scotty, because we're not going to be able to do as much with her. But she does have Ice Amp for right now, and that is something to keep in mind if we are looking to create a more specialized ice caster. But creating her does give me a pretty cool thing that I can make over here, which is Loki. If you remember, Loki is what we need for Elizabeth's next fusion request, and it looks like, unfortunately, I do not get access to, what is it? growth 3 via this fusion, but that is okay. I'm just going to give him this stuff. Obviously, because I'm using Siegfried for this fusion, I want to pull him right back out, but yeah, we've got Loki created. I'm going to card a growth 3 onto him, so that eventually we can get him up to level 75 for Elizabeth's request. If we had a maxed out Fool social link, I already have a superior skill to that. Let's see, single target boost, always pretty nice. If we had a maxed out Fool social link, in addition to the Lover's Tarot card, like I have right now, we're not going to take that Soul Shift. Ooh, Spellmaster, very nice. He would immediately hit level 75, but that is not the case for me right now, so unfortunately, not something I can take advantage of. Alright, I gotta get Siegfried back out, and I think that should have us well set for the upcoming boss fight. Again, I'm also going to card growth 3 onto Loki there, just so we can get him to his next level in due time. With all that nonsense taken care of, we're ready to close out our boss bonanza in Persona 3 Reload, except not really, because we got a couple more guys after this. The enemy is strong. Please make sure you're ready before fighting. You know the routine here. Come on, bring it. I'll take you on. You've got this, Ken. Except not really, because you're not exactly the superior damage dealer of this composition. But hey, I appreciate his gumption. Anyways, we'll have Kodomaru wing for a crit here. Might honestly be worth that and set up Revolution also, but I'm not like super pressed about having that ready to go. Let's see, I'm going to set up a Tetrakarn on the protagonist, because frankly, Ken's damage, not that impressive. And I love the support. Okay, he actually goes for magic there. Pretty interesting. If I was thinking, I would have set up a Makara Karn on Kodomaru there. He's going for Heat Riser here, which is a little annoying because I was going to go for a Debilitate on him. Let me see here. Do I happen to have a Deikaja gem? Because that would actually help out quite a bit. Does not look like I do, so unfortunately, we're going to have our offense set back a little bit, unless I can get a crit with Junpei here. And, as a matter of fact, I did. Okay, very nice, very nice. What we're going to do here is we are going to switch over to Barong and debilitate this guy. And then when the turn rolls back around to the protagonist, we'll debilitate him again. Again, and again, and again. This poor guy. He's just, he's trying his best here, but it's not exactly working out for him the way he's hoping. I'm also going to have this take this opportunity to have Kodomaru set up a Power Howling for the team. I haven't really had much reason to put this option to work up to this point in the dungeon. Partially just because I haven't really been using a physically optimized team. Ken has Vile Assault as an option, but he is not a physical powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination. Probably going to see another Makagam coming out from this guy. If we're lucky, we'll dodge. Kodomaru will dodge. He did it. He did. Okay, cool. I just kind of took it like he was for sure not going to dodge there. I'm actually going to save my Theurgies a little bit because I specifically want the protagonist for an upcoming battle in the Monad Passage, so I don't want to just waste that before we get a chance to reach there. Let's see if we can get a crit from Kodomaru, and no such thing there. Let's take a look at this guy's resistances now. Yeah, at this point, you'd be pretty hard-pressed to find things that are actually weak to your options. You know what? Just for fun, let's do a Divine Retribution from Ken. He's got pretty decent light damage going at this point. I still got the Giebal Spear on him, which gives him a little bit of light boost to work with in this game. Yeah. Oh, actually was enough to finish the guy off. Cool. Not a bad fight. Not bad at all. What I should have done was put Makara Karn on Kodomaru, but it's not really like I could tell that before the guy actually attacked. And now we can fuse, the Bird of Fortune. And get a whole bunch of level ups. There's that level 75 for Loki that I was planning on, banking on even. Is it just me, or are these shadows up in their game? How much stronger are they gonna get? Ugh, no clue. Honestly, I should have said we just gotta up our game too. Well, we can forget about things getting any easier down the line. And hey, don't get me wrong, I ain't scared of them or anything, alright? Heck, I'm hashing out big plans to finish him off in style as we speak. Okay. Yo, what's with that look? You don't believe me? Aw, Junpei. I have faith in your abilities, Junpei. Don't take the...
Understand the concept of teamwork?
I mean, we've seen a few working in tandem up to this point. Let's get this chest over here. Carbon jacket. Let me actually look at what it does. What does the carbon jacket do? Because who knows? It could give crit bonuses. Strength and high counter, actually. You know what? That's actually not bad, especially because I've got ailment immunity on Ken anyway. Why not give him that? Get a little bit more mileage out of Vile Assault. Alright, I got 12 Twilight Fragments to work with after this chest is open. Get yet another tuxedo. Very nice. But more important than that, of course, is we have our Monad Passage over here. One of those doors again. Since the layout of this floor doesn't change, this door likely won't disappear, so we can explore it at any time. I'll leave it up to you, leader. We're exploring it right now. We've got to just be, you know, as headstrong, bullheaded as possible. I'm not concerned about dying, which could be my own undoing, but hey, I saved before the big boss fight, and he wasn't particularly difficult, so I'm sure I'll be fine. No need to worry about me. Heading into this next one here, I'm noticing that my SP is actually getting kinda low, because I did that double debilitate, and then, we've, not really been able to take advantage of Life Aid. But it's not a big deal. I've got plenty of SP restoratives. Definitely don't want to use my limited Twilight Fragments to, abate that.
Powerful enemy spotted. Please be careful.
I will. Okay, coming into this next fight here, let's go into this all confident and swaggering, and let's see, Morbid Book. You know what, let's, just for fun, let's go for a Revolution here. We've got multiple targets to cut through, so this could be a potentially good opportunity for, June. Oh, man. Bad luck for Koromaru. He is just getting bullied with that. Fortunately, this guy decided to be really dumb. I'm not sure what his game plan was. That scripture is marked with D. Little ominous, but we should be fine. Ken will just heal us up. He's also under the 50% SP threshold, so his stuff is going to start charging really quickly. Not really worried about these guys buffing themselves up. Let's go for a Deathbound here and see if we can't get a critical hit. Unfortunately, no. We've got some resistances to deal with, so better be mindful of that. Luckily, we have access to, Ken's Deikaja in order to abate these guys just buffing themselves up. Let me see here. Probably the strongest option I have for dealing multi-target damage would be Norn with Magat or Dine, so we'll go with that to lay out our starting assault. And we can just have Fuka scan these guys and let us figure out what exactly we're dealing with here. Okay, Pierce is what they're weak to. We'll keep that in mind. This guy over here, this isn't weak to anything, so we're going to have to be mindful of that. I'm going to go for a Getsue. If we're lucky, we'll knock him down. If we're unlucky, well, we won't knock him down, but I'm not overly pressed about that if that happens. The Mod Akukasha is a bit unfortunate, but we do have going here, and yes, he's marking for death. I can imagine something nasty happen. Oh, whoops! That was a complete misplay there. I meant to knock down those other guys. I was going to knock them down, then have ow. I was going to have Ken utilize what is it? Blah, 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 Deikaja on them. That's okay, though, so we'll go with Vile Assault here. Fortunately, Junpei brings in some Pierce coverage for us. Going for another Vile Assault here. And let's see here. I need to deal with their raised defenses here. Let's see. Just like Junpei said, let's see. First off, let's do an Oracle here. I haven't really used this up to this point in the dungeon, so let's see if we get a good boost going here. Okay, that is everybody buffed up. That gives us a bit more time to work with. I'm going to switch over to the protagonist here. Let's see. Debilitate will not work on multiple targets, but I do have Madarkunda. I definitely want to get that defense buff taken off of them right away, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And this guy is going to go for another Agaun. If he goes for Ken, that's, yeah, that's going to take him out, but that's okay. He was knocked down, so it's not a big deal. What we can do here is a life ointment on him, bring him right back onto his feet, and he looks like $1,000,000 now. You're doing good, Ken. You're doing good. Okay, let's see. This time, these guys are perfectly susceptible to Maragi Dine, so we'll go with that. This is being a bit of a messy fight here. Unfortunately, I don't have much in the way of theurgy options to go, so let's see. The scripture is marked for death. Let's Vile Assault this guy over here. And let me think. I'm going to pass over to Junpei. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have him go for a hack and blast on this guy. If we're lucky, we'll get a crit here. And it's not the most impossible thing in the world to get. It has very high crit rate on Hack and Blast. Unfortunately, I got pretty bad luck there. Yeah, running into some problems with that, yeah, but these things happen. Let's see here. Nice, good dodge from Ken. He didn't have Tsukakaja up, so he didn't have that to count on. Let's give this guy a quick shot of Vile Assault here. And let's see, I'm actually going to pass over to Ken and have him Madeira on the party. This is proving to be a much trickier battle than the one we did before this, so pretty interesting thing. Doesn't help that I brought the suboptimal team for it, but that's the kind of thing that makes this interesting, you know? Another Aegon coming out. Fortunately, he decided to wing it at the character who just completely stuffs it. Okay, what we're gonna do here is, you know what? I'm actually gonna go for Myriad Arrows on Bishamonten. This guy is getting a chance to prove his worth. Check that out. Excellent stuff. And then we're just going to go for a Primal Force on this guy. Boom. Excellent, excellent. Looking pretty good there. Some of our stuff is wearing off, but I'm not overly pressed about that. We'll go for a Maragi Dying here. We're getting pretty close to death coming through, but we should have this guy defeated before he gets a chance to pop that off. Here comes a Matarunda, which I'm not overly concerned about. It's a slight impediment to our offense, but not the end of the world. Let's see. What we're going to do here is we are going to Divine Retribution this guy. We're just going to have everybody else pop off with their strongest things and hopefully take this guy out before the death finally has a chance to go off. Some good damage coming through from Ken there. Let's see here. Effective Revolution ended, which is unfortunate for Junpei, but hey, we can throw out this Deathbound and not have to worry about it getting stuffed. Alright, we got some unfortunate situation we found ourselves in here. Let me think. I don't know what happens when death happens. I can't risk it. I don't know what happens when death goes off, so unfortunately I wanted to save Scarlet Havoc for the upcoming fight, but I played this too poorly, so we're just going to have to pop it off here and take this guy out with it. There we go. Little scary, but we got it, we got it. Don't know what happens when death goes off, but I'm not interested in finding out. Hey! There we go! I was wondering if I would get that. That was a pretty fortunate opportunity there. Okay. That was such a creepy shadow. Thank goodness you managed to beat it. I don't really believe in ghosts or anything. If something like that showed up at night. And then again, now that we've actually defeated it, I don't think I'd be as scared. Kind of weird how unfazed by these things. I'm unfazed by these things now. Might be a treasure chest up ahead, but I sense an enemy presence there too. If you're worn out from battling, don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to recuperate. We will continue. Understood. I'll continue to provide support. If it gets dangerous, don't hesitate to retreat. Alright, so yeah, we still got our Theurgy, so I ended up making the correct decision there. Go me. Go me. Whole bunch of treasure to get over here. We get a Wizard's Mark, which is a pretty cool accessory. Replicates Invigorate 3, get a striped wetsuit. Could always use a swimsuit. And Memoir number 5. One of the researchers has begun to realize the secret of the shadows. His interpretation of the documents is arbitrary and biased, as expected from another lowly human. I believe his name was Akutsuki. Well, interesting thing to see there. Regardless, let's continue on to the next section, and let me see here. I'm actually going to just use up some of these soul drops that I have, give a little bit of top off to everybody. That should be good. And now let's continue on to the next boss fight. Last boss fight we've got for this video, actually. I looked it up beforehand, so we only got 2 Monad Passage boss there. That path jebaited me there.
Powerful enemy spotted. Please be careful.
We got this, Fuka. I mean, look at how my dominant performance against the previous enemy. It's okay, Koromaru. It's okay. Let's see. What I'm gonna do here is we've got. I'm gonna actually use my Atrophying Sutra here. What I'd like to see is I would like to see a crit come out from Junpei. This guy is charging right here. Got so many hands. These guys are all hands. Let me see here. I'm gonna put a Makarakarn on the protagonist. It would be very nice if Koromaru started out with Power Howling. Yeah, these guys are powering right the hell up. Let's see here. We're gonna go for a Deathbound right here, see if Junpei can't score a crit. Unfortunately, he did not. Marin Karen coming out from this guy. And annoyingly, Koromaru got hit with that, but it's not the end of the world. That was a bit of an unnecessary Makara Karn that I set up, but hey, better safe than sorry. Anyway, what we're gonna do here is we are going to switch over to, Siegfried. And the reason I wanted my Theurgy ready is so that I can just Scarlet Havoc and get these clowns taken out of the picture immediately. There we go. Oh, nice. Let me see here. This guy right here, is he is not immune to being hit by Brave Blade, so we are just going to do that to him real quick. Oh wow, he actually managed to survive that one. Masuku Kaja onto the enemy is a bit unfortunate, but not the worst thing in the world. Alright, what's coming out this way? The gold hand is warming up. I'd better get Tetrakarn set up on the protagonist there. We're just gonna have to weather the storm of what Koromaru is doing for a bit. And let's see here. We will have Junpei. Actually, we can scan all these guys now. So this guy is only weak to wind. Oh man, I'm out of SP on Fuka. I didn't even think about that. Regardless, I can Gigantic Fist this guy to get him out of the picture. There we go. I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to debilitate this guy. Where is Barong? Right here. Take advantage of the fact that I have that. Get all of his stats lowered. Nice! Koromaru recovered from that ailment at just the right time. You know what? Just for the fun of it, let's go for Hound of Hades. I was thinking of having him use a healing item, but I'm not super pressed about that. It shouldn't be necessary. Hound of Hades should deal some pretty good damage to this guy. If we're lucky, it'll finish him off. If we're unlucky, we are going to have to survive his attack. He's probably going to use God's Hand, is what I was expecting. And he decided to wing it at Junpei. Complete waste of his effort there. He spent all that time charging that up to no avail. We are just going to bring Junpei right back into the fight. Alrighty, alrighty. Pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. Junpei, unfortunately, cannot finish this guy off with his attack, so I guess we'll just extend Maraku Kaja here. I'm actually not sure what this guy is weak to, so we better be careful with what we hit him with. Let's throw a Phanta Ray at him, though. That's really good damage, so just an easy option. And there we go, finished him off. I'm guessing he's just, he reflects all physical types, and you gotta use magic to defeat him if you're not using Theurgies. Let's see, Magat Urdine, don't need that, so we'll just take the experience and the money. Alright, with all that taken care of, level up for Thor, always appreciated. Shadow eliminated, good work. Gold, silver, black, white, and pink. That's a rare combination. Would they be called the Tartar Rangers? No, that sounds kind of lame. What? Nothing. I wasn't thinking about Featherman or anything dumb like that. Come on, let's keep going. I'm glad that I brought Ken along for this fight. Looks as though you've defeated all the shadows in this area. All we have to do now is open that treasure chest. Let's do it, heck yeah. Once again, only 2 bosses in the Monad passage, which is kind of disappointing in its own way, but, you know, it's not a big deal either. Alright, and Koto-chan's excited too. Now try opening it. Oh god, Junpei just keeps shifting forward and backward. Alright, we get a Sun Tarot and the Book of Resh. Of course, the Sun Major Arcana card has a wonderful effect. You will be able to fuse personas up to 5 levels above your current level until you leave Tartarus. This is a slightly nerfed version of the most busted Confidant effect in Persona 5. You can only fuse personas above your level if you happen to get this tarot card. Obviously, if you see it, you should slam pick it, because this just allows you to create so many powerful things. And Book of Resh allows us to hold yet one more card. I guess this isn't something that would hold Koto-chan's interest. I'll have to get him a treat when we get back. I think Koro can appreciate what that does for us. In this chest here, that's what I'm talking about. Wonder what's in it this time. Junpei, god, he's floating on the ground. He's floating above the ground too. Look at that. Hey, we get a Judgment Tarot and a Book of Shin. Let's see, Judgment. The member of the current party with the lowest level will gain a large amount of experience. This isn't nearly as good as it sounds. It's not like a Grand Clock effect, and oftentimes it doesn't even level up the character it gives the experience to, so kind of a silly card, not one that I'm a fan of. The Book of Shin, of course, allows us to hold one more card, making it easier for us to get those draw cards like Star and Justice. Another tarot card. Are these hinting at something? I mean, each one has a certain meaning, right? Maybe I'll look into it later. Looks like a dead end. You want to head back right away? Let's leave Monad. Okay, be careful on your way back. Alright, with that taken care of, let's go up to our final floor of this section of Harabah and reload. A dead end. Looks like we can't progress any further for now. On the other hand, we made good headway. Nicely done. Come back to whenever you're ready. It's your call to make, leader. Alright, there is actually something for us to grab here. We get a progress report. The test subject's deterioration while developing the potential was severe, but the test drugs have been effective. Remaining physical strain has not interfered with the research. Additionally, the research on Thea... interesting. A new report for Reload, and one that seems to delve into theurgy. But who wrote that one? I'm not sure if it's the antique store owner again, or somebody else. Regardless, we've got some quests to turn in with Elizabeth here. Yes, Elizabeth, these requests that I've got. First off, let's get the progress report. It looks like you've obtained the progress report. This one seems somewhat different from the old documents you've collected. It appears to be a report on an experiment, but it's unfinished, as if the author had been interrupted. I can't quite comprehend the subject matter, but perhaps you can make some sense out of it. Please take this as your reward, and we get a huge amount of money. But we've also got Loki to turn in. You have certainly nurtured Loki to the required level. Well done. That completes this request. Now, as for your reward, I've gone ahead and prepared something special. With it, you'll be able to fuse Masakato of the Tower Arcana. Masakato is unbelievably strong, and you will need to be equally powerful to control him. But I'm confident you are up to the challenge. Please take this as your reward. Masakato is another good option for getting Debilitate. You can now fuse Masakato, the Guardian of Tokyo. So yeah, keep him in mind, and of course, he is our final request. You need to get the skill charge onto him, which is not terribly difficult.
You've already fulfilled.
And we can turn in Sword here to get an AS Refined Material. Now, I'm going to tie up some loose ends in FES real quick, and while that's going on, I'm going to look for some locked chests and see if I can't get a Grand Clock so I can level up Akihiko, because he's fallen quite far behind. So let's pop over to FES real quick. It's a dead end in FES. The way to the next floor, but the path is blocked. I wonder why? Well, I can only presume. Anyways, we finally get the final old document in FES, and portable as well, of course. Now, for this little interlude with FES, there are a couple things I want to take care of before we move on and finish the video. Some things that I've just been putting off for a while, partially just because I haven't really had the money for it. First off, let's turn in this last old document and get a bit of money that'll help us out here. It seems you retrieved the old document from Harabah. That will be the last one I ask you to find. I wanted you to learn the truth from the 8 documents you've collected. However, you're already moving towards another truth. Although memories may remind you of the past, always walk toward the future. I must admit, I'm a bit envious since I have neither. Please accept your reward. Now that money there is going to actually be quite useful for what I want to accomplish for the rest of this evening in FES, because I think it's time we caught up on getting some fusion spells learned, as well as the relevant requests to them also completed. So for this one, to cast Summer Dream, we are going to need... let's see, we need Oberon, and honestly, I probably could have saved myself a little bit of money by taking a Titania from Shuffle Time earlier, but yes, we need Oberon and Titania to cast this one. So, a little bit of money wasted there, because I did come across Titania a couple times in Shuffle Time, and then just forgot to grab her. But now we can grab both of them, and... by getting into battle with one of the two equipped, we will get their fusion spell, Summer Dream. A little shout out to the Shakespeare fans in the audience. Now, as you can see, Summer Dream has an unpredictable effect. And among the various unpredictable effects this can have, one of them is that it can indeed lower your entire party's HP to 1, just like Oracle can. Let's see what we get here. Okay, that fully healed the enemy instead, so yeah, not a very good fusion skill, not one I would really recommend using, but we do have to get that one used in order to complete Elizabeth's request, or at the very least discover it. If you are curious what the full extent of the effects it can have are, just read the forum post about the protagonist in order to see that. Most of them, not worth the risk. You seem to have completed a request. Just a moment while I check. I have confirmed your casting of the fusion spell, Summer Dream. The mysterious effect might be related to the tempestuous love from the fairy court. I've heard that love is also quite mysterious in the human world. Please accept your reward. And for that, we get Junpei's summer outfit. Now, let's see what next fusion spell request has been opened up for us. Dreamfest. Another one that I can easily perform. We need Incubus as well as his female counterpart. Now, even if you are not familiar with the requisite lore, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out who the female counterpart to Incubus is. Gee, I wonder who. Alright, let's go get this casted. With Incubus and Succubus power, you are able to use Dreamfest like you expect, and as you can see, it is a high chance to charm every foe. Not exactly something that I really feel is all that helpful, but hey, you might like it. I'm not a fan of ailments in this game, so not really something I care to bust out. You seem to have completed a request. Just a moment while I check. By the way, it's very nice that Fuka can just fish me out of Tartarus with an escape route now. I have confirmed your casting of the fusion spell, Dreamfest, a dance that charms all who see it. I wonder how that dance is performed. I would love to join in. Please accept your reward. And we get a summer outfit for Akihiko. How nice. Now what's the next one we open up, and is it something I can do? Let's see, Scarlet Havoc. You will need Ares and a Teutonic Dragon Slayer. Well, as it just so happens, we happen to have a Teutonic Dragon Slayer in our inventory already. So let me get that Ares out and let's move on. With Ares and Siegfried's power, you are able to use Scarlet Havoc. Now, if you're wondering if there's anything in-game that helps you figure out these, lore hints, there are indeed. You can go into the compendium and look up the background of the characters in order to see what the hints are relevant to. Requires a bit of reading, but hey. Anyway, Scarlet Havoc is an SP-based physical move, and, well, it's just kind of inferior to Vorpal Blade, honestly. I wouldn't really recommend using it, but hey, it certainly looks cool. Got some buzzsaws going, pretty good stuff. I have confirmed your casting of the fusion spell, Scarlet Havoc. In this fusion spell, you slice the enemy into 1,000,000 tiny slivers. If one were able to be sliced that many times, there would be nothing left but a pile of dust. Oh, is the dust at your feet? Please accept your reward. Oh, Elizabeth, you're so morbid. Anyways, we get Mitsuru's summer outfit, if you aren't so inclined to equip that on her. And then let's see, we've got the fusion spell Valhalla. Conveniently, another one where we just so happen to have the character that allows us to cast that. We need a Valkyrie and her master. Alright, let me go grab her and let's go cast this. With Odin and Valkyrie's power, you are able to use Valhalla. Now, Valhalla is a very, very interesting skill. This gives a character true invincibility. Invincibility to everything, including almighty skills. However, once that invincibility expires, the character will be reduced to 1 HP and I believe 1 SP. Not very useful, but there is an upgraded version of this spell that is actually quite powerful. Yeah, nice try. Yeah, these guys are not looking too good these days. So, Infinity itself, Valhalla, not very useful, but the upgraded version of it, be sure to keep that in mind if you plan on taking on this game's bonus boss. Incidentally, I wasn't aware it was possible to get 0 experience points in this game. I thought it at least floored at 1. Anyways, you seem to have completed a request. Just a moment while I check. I have confirmed your casting of the fusion spell Valhalla. Those who are called to Odin's Hall by the Valkyries, they become immortal warriors, fighting unto eternity. Immortality may sound nice, but please be careful. Please accept your reward. And we get our winter outfit. Very nice, very nice. Any other requests opened up now that we can do? Shadowhound. As a matter of fact, we are just barely capable of doing this one, but I think we've unlocked enough fusion spells for right now, and I want to do something else with my money. So I made a big deal of getting Atropos earlier, so why don't we finally take out the other Sisters of Fate, and let's actually make her. To create Norn, in addition to requiring a maxed out Fortune link in FES and Portable, it is also a special fusion, but not a typical special fusion, not one that you go to the cross, pentagon, or hexagon spreads. Instead, by fusing Lachesis, Clotho, and Atropos together in a triangle spread, you can create Norn, and yes, we want Wind Boost on her. As you can see, she comes with Phanta Ray, the Tier 4 Wind spell. Anything else that she gets does not matter to me. It would be nice if we could get some healing magic onto her, but I'm mostly just taking her to have something that can slobber knock the enemy with wind when that comes up. Norn also gets a couple of fun bonuses. In addition to getting her powerful wind magic, and it was very easy to get wind burst onto her, she also picks up Regenerate 3 as well as Invigorate 3. So you have some pretty good charge power with that. This is going to be the last persona that I actually put any concentrated effort into stat maxing. Anything else, the game's just not going to be going on long enough for me to really get anything out of that, so may as well just focus on this one. But yeah, that is all that I want to do with FES. Let's wrap up the video in Reload as I usually do. Note that on my own time, I am actually going to be taking the effort to get some more money, as well as get some more experience for my team, because we actually have not hit the tired status yet, so I can go for just a little bit longer and get some good rewards out of it. Alrighty, let's wrap this video up. And we've also reached the end in Portable. Now, in Portable, by sheer happenstance, this night, well, maybe not by happenstance, maybe even by deliberate design on the developer's part, regardless, tonight happens to be an accident-prone night, meaning that we have the potential to actually secure a good number of luxury coins. Now, I think I will actually spend some time on my own just doing that, so I can get a nice bank of money going with those luxury coins. I can just sell them off as I need to give myself a good supply of money. Removing Koromaru because he brings the party level average down. With Raphael, I can probably trawl the lower floors of Harabah and fish for a floor with nothing but rare forms. Note that regardless of what section of Harabah you are in, the rare forms are always the same. It'll always be the same luxury hand, so it really just behooves you to go through the floors where you can scare off all the enemies and get those luxury hands with no issue. So that's what I'll probably do on my own time. Now, let's finish off this video. Well, after the terrible luck I was having during the proper expedition, I got the clock immediately on the first locked chest, so very nice there. That'll allow us to get a sizable experience boost for Akihiko, and whoever else I decide to divert it into. I was considering if I came across it early enough to giving it to Koromaru, but now he's pretty much caught up in levels to the protagonist. Not quite, but close enough, so we'll look at the next lowest leveled character and see if they can't get some pretty good bonuses. It's just kind of stuck with these guys for this time. I just felt it was a good party. Didn't really feel any need to change it. We'll have to, yeah, obviously get Akihiko the level up there. And looks like Mitsuru is the one who is languishing the most. So why don't we get this dynamic duo powered up, brought up to close enough to our level, or exactly our level. And unfortunately, Aegis is also probably going to need a clock visit once we actually get her back, because she has also fallen pretty far behind. Hold on a second. I've got a really good mental image of how I should be moving. Let me join you and you won't regret it. Oh, I actually feel similarly myself. I have a feeling that I'll do especially well in there right now. Could you please include me in your party? Absolutely. Let's get them leveled up real quick. And there we go. Just quickly bop something in the table. Alright, we could give Akihiko ice evasion here. But I don't really feel like that's necessary, so we're just going to drop that. We get Maziodyne to replace Mazionga, always pretty nice. And he's going to be learning God's Hand soon. Next level up, in fact. Very good skill for Akihiko. Let's see, Mitsuru's picking up Mabufudyne here. Anything I want to get rid of for Mabufudyne? Honestly, not really. I don't care to, so we will just leave that off. And Mitsuru will be getting her final skill soon. Diamond Dust. She is the only character among your party members who learns a Tier 4 spell. Kinda wish it would help her out more, but it really does not. It's also pretty SP intensive. One thing to note is that Mitsuru does not get innate Ice Amp. However, she does have an ultimate weapon that gives her Ice Amp, so keep that in mind. Regardless, we've gotten all those level ups. We are not going to scout ahead, Fuka. We are just going to leave. We are going to use escape plan or escape route to get the heck out of here. And that is where we can call it a video, honestly. We've gotten so much done. And we are ready to continue into the rest of the month. And eventually, we have to face down Ryoji's ultimatum. I don't even know what I'm going to do with that. Regardless, it is something that we have to deal with, so may as well steel myself for it and just think hard about the choice that I truly want to make. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you next time. And I hope there's more than just a couple next times left. Goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, no. But it's my right to waste your time.